Hello peeps, Jordan is great 505 here. So today I made a poll and I asked if you guys wanted to see the hidden details of Five Nights at Chica's or the video about the Withered animatronics. So I guess people want to know the design and the behind the scenes of making the Withered animatronics, and I chose these two topics because the Withered animatronics were the most fun to make. For me because I got to spend a week just chilling out making them. The entire night itself was just a concept for Five Nights at Chica's too, um, for how the animatronics could look and how they could work. Night is probably the easiest challenge night, and that's kind of by design. Because I just wanted it to be a chill out night where you can just admire the artistic value of the Withered animatronics. What I did first off to make them is I took the models for them, the default Chica's Party World models, and I just bashed them up in Blender. And then after that, I added them into the game with animations. I edited the animations so they had moving, broken parts. And then I added decals on top because most FNAF models have only one texture that they can have. So I added decals to actually have cracks and stuff to make it to sell the Withered look, and particle effects to try and make them unique. Because a lot of the Withered animatronics in FNAF 2, I kind of wish they had like leaking sparks and stuff because I thought that'd be more realistic. Especially with exposed wire and stuff, and they're still moving around. Um, so that's kind of how I made them. Um, the idea behind them, and I'll go over their ideas later, because I think we should get into the lore here, and you might need to watch the previous story explain video if you want to know more about the lore here, but let's get into the lore, and then I'll get into the reasons they look the way they do. The Withered location is the result of abandoning Chica's Party World. It's actually a Withered version of the Vintage location, as the Vintage location was the kind of refurnishing of the 80s Chica's Party World because they just didn't have the costs, the budget to keep running the Funtime animatronics, so they just put them in the backstage and walled it off like they did with Afton. So they did that, and after the location was abandoned, the Vintage location, uh, it was left to rot, and the older Funtime animatronics got out. And over time, they got vandalized, which explains why they look the way they do. And the vintage animatronics just got crushed by all the rotting, so they're completely unusable. You can see the real damage done to the vintage location with exposed walls, roofs, and many other remnants of what it used to be, with all the food in the kitchen rotting and all that stuff, with bugs inside there. Um, it just shows, and then you can see a little bit of the cracks of the 80s version of Chica's Party World. And I always thought that was pretty cool, because it's all a clashing of eras in a way. With the exposed hydro system below, too, is pretty cool, too. I guess I should get into the designs and the animatronics themselves now. Let's start with JJ. She was modeled by my girlfriend, Green Sister Lover, as she's known. Please subscribe to her YouTube channel if you really like the models. The original model, that is. And that's in the campaign. So when I was remodeling it to be more of a Withered version, my main goal was to make it more like those FNAF edits you'd see during the FNAF 2 days of the Withered Balloon Boy, where they have the hanging out eye, they have the ripped up face, the arms are ripped off from wires. That was kind of the inspiration because I wanted to kind of pay tribute to those designs. And I tried to do that in my own unique way by combining a lot of reference for it. And I think it turned out pretty good in the end, and I'm very happy with design that came up from her, and my girlfriend is too. Remodeling her was pretty fun. Um, she works like normal JJ, where she just destroys all your doors, but she'll actually do 50 damage to you if she touches you, which makes your vision and your movement slower. Something more important to note about the location itself, now that we mention it, uh, because it's rotting away, most of your power is just from your laptop. As you know, the lore is that you and the Afton Robotics crew are just here to gather data. And if you want to know more about it, check out the Story Explained video. But because of that, a lot of the keypads, if you enter in the codes for them, they actually just break your laptop instead of actually, working to prevent hacks. The cameras don't work, and the doors, they aren't the most functional. The light switch will break too. It's all a lot of broken stuff to kind of sell how broken it is. I mean, there's also rain coming in from the roof and stuff. And I guess we should go on to the next animatronic now, which is Lolbit. Lolbit in the original game is kind of like the best out of the main three on the stage, as she is super fast and she runs after you. Here she's kind of not, because she is very slow. She's limping as her legs are broken, and her face plates are all like stuck inside her other parts, like her right faceplate stuck in her ear. And when she runs up to your office, she's limping to it. Now, this doesn't mean she's not a threat at all. I consider her in the middle of the Withered Animatronics. She just runs after you over time, because when she sees you, her body kind of powers up halfway through, and she kind of can charge at you if you're not careful. So it's kind of like a slow charge up if she sees you, which makes her a bit more different than the original Lolbit, and shows her old side still is there. When making her design, I kind of just wanted her to be a reverse, where instead of being fast, she's just very broken in her legs. I wanted to try and make the faceplates open permanently, because in a lot of the help wanted art, it was probably somewhere art. I always saw this concept art of Lolbit or something with her faceplates open, and almost all of the art I saw for help wanted, her right faceplate was open. So my idea was, okay, let's just make it permanently open. So that's what I did. The hole in her nose was actually designed after some real animatronics I was looking at on YouTube, because at the time I was like really into the whole real life animatronic stuff. So I was looking at actual Withered animatronics for reference. And the other holes in her body are kind of like that too, and the legs. And she's also leaking sparks from her wires too, which is kind of to show that her legs are still powered. Yeah, I'm very happy with how her design turned out too. I think her animations are pretty cool. I think they're my favorite out of the 5 Withered animatronics. Now on to Funtime Chica. For her, I kind of wanted her to resemble the Chica, the Withered Spring Chica from Friday Nights at Fredbear's Bring Them Eternal Rest. Because, you see, I did the whole Chica without a beak when she's withered thing before Security breached it. They stole from me, obviously. They're stolers. I'm the original creator. So yeah, but the main inspiration for this was actually the endo the endo version of Chica you see, where she when she hacks your computer on the endoskeleton night, because I just wanted to have that look. Um, but I wanted to do it uniquely. I didn't want it to look too much like, the Spring Chica from Bring the Maternal Rest, or the actual Endo or Glamrock Chica. So to make it unique, I ripped up her beaks because they were in segments into 4 different parts to kind of resemble, your typical sci-fi creature with multiple jaws. I guess Demogorgon comes to mind, but I always imagined this raptor-like creature that could do it. But it was just my mind misremembering the knife tooths or whatever they're called from the new dinosaurs. Um, yeah, so I wanted to do that. Unfortunately, you can't see her eyes because of this. So, and what I wanted to do originally was to make her have her beak kind of be like bones, so they kind of open up when they come after you. But I just couldn't, for the life of me, figure out a way to properly add the bones for it. So maybe I'll do it in the sequel. The other parts of her, the plates being like kind of, ripped up and out of her body, and the missing chest and all that stuff. It was mostly just to resemble the Endo Chica and kind of to show, her faceplates is never really animated, so I kind of wanted to show them being open and her chest kind of be half open too. I just want it just the whole entire design for this was supposed to resemble the Endo Chica, but in a withered form. And then for the next one, Ennard, or Circus Clown, he was supposed to be a complete 180 of his campaign version. Instead of being the bottom tier, he's going to be the top tier. His arms are completely ripped up and non-functional, so when he runs around them, they kind of go behind his back like a Naruto run because he just can't work with them anymore. They're just broken. He's constantly leaking sparks to most. There's chunks of him ripped up. He's missing his eye, and his mouth is designed to be more like a skeleton. And he's as fast as the player. So, and he can also climb on the roof and jump down. And you can actually find out if he's going to do that if you just look at if he's leaking sparks, which the particle effects unintentionally helped out with showing when an animatronic is near, because he leaks the sparks the most, so you can tell if he's on the roof or not, or you can just use your flashlight. His design was all about kind of looking like a skeleton, if that makes sense, and to be the most bashed up, to look like he's been shot, and for his teeth to kind of look like a jack-o'-lantern in a way. He's supposed to be the scariest of them, and I think I did that pretty well. And I think his mechanics are kind of the best, where he can go on your roof and just kind of teleport down, and then he can teleport away, and he goes in your vents. I think that was a good way to kind of make him unique, where he actually goes on the roof. Now, the last withered animatronic is the Mermaid Baby. Mermaid Baby was kind of an idea I had, because you see in Help Wanted and in Security Breach, you see a Mermaid Chica a lot. I mean, she's kind of fit. Well, anyways, as I was saying, anyways, I thought the idea was cool, because I was like, okay, so we don't have what's a unique way we can kind of reverse the whole Showtime baby trope? And it's like, she's on roller skates. What if we got rid of them and replaced it with a tail? So that was kind of the idea for it. And it was actually based on some mechanophobia stuff, which, was really popular in the 2020. But I was interested in it a lot before then, because, I'm really into those dinosaur animatronics. So I wanted to kind of give the same vibe of the Bunyip animatronic. And the lore is when she was at the vintage restaurant, she worked exactly the same, except she played a song. And the lore for her is pretty cool too, and it's actually accurate to how I modeled her. So what I did is I took a Felix the Shark model, I cut off its tail, and I strapped it to Showtime Baby, and I ripped up Showtime Baby a bit and gave her Circus Baby's claw. And the lore in game is that she's just using a Felix the Shark animatronics tail too. And I thought that was cool because Felix the Shark is one of my favorite animatronics to be introduced because he's a shark, obviously. But I wanted to kind of tie that in and be like, oh yeah, this restaurant is so desperate, they're strapping up hybrids together, kind of like that person who made that fake mermaid cryptid. But yeah, and I think it works because I thought that was just really cool that it's you can see half of Felix the Shark on her. Uh, Now for the claw, I originally wasn't gonna have it, and it was just gonna be her missing a hand. But my friends told me to just keep it in because it looked cool. And honestly, I just went with it too. You don't always have to explain it. You can have the rule of cool. And as for her face, it's actually supposed to be a more ripped up version of Scrap Chica. I mean, Scrap Baby, which I thought was pretty cool. And I feel like, and she's also much bigger than the actual Showtime Baby too, which makes her more of a threat and more scary when she comes out of the water. Seeing her slowly rise up and then just coming out and going at the vents, the left door, and the roof. I kind of wanted her to be a mixture of all of the animatronics in a way, kind of as a challenge. And yeah, I think it paid off well. I think it was really scary seeing her just run out and crawl up to you at a high speed with a claw in her mouth. And I was just really proud of that design. It's kind of my second favorite. And I feel like, and I can't wait to actually use it more in Five Nights at Chica's too when I get to making that. I felt like that was she's the easiest boss, don't get me wrong. Well, maybe not, because Spring Chica's kind of, you can take care of her so easily, but still, at the same time, yeah, this whole entire night was just supposed to be an artistic gallery in a way, where you just see the animatronics, and you kind of do defend against them. Now, the next part I'd like to go on is the hard mode versions of the main four. Now, I'm going to go over this briefly because they're not really too different other than the few texture changes and missing parts. The designs of them are supposed to be much more broken down versions because the hard mode version takes place in the winter, so you see snow. And I should mention, there was actually going to be more snow, but because of the fact that it just crashed the game for whatever reason, I had to remove it. I'm sorry about that because it looked cool. I mean, it was so cool, but I don't know. Fredbear's Free will have snow too, so who knows. As for the hard mode versions of the Wyverns, they have more faded colors of their animatronic shells, and I kind of wanted them to be, more, withered looking. So hard mode Chica, for example, her beak is actually gone this time, and her colors are faded, and she's missing more parts, which kind of makes her resemble more of the Endo I talked about earlier. The hard mode version of Circus Clown, he's missing his nose. He looks more like a human skeleton, and you can tell he's very close to being destroyed and not working at all. The hard mode Lolbit, she has more snow on her. She's more, faded away in color. She's missing some parts. And JJ, she's missing all her eyes, half of her hair, and Yeah, she just looks even more faded away in color too. Now they actually do have voices too, which most of the animatronics in the challenge nights did not, because I just didn't feel like it really mattered that much for this game in particular, because I didn't want to spend another freaking year working on it. Okay, just don't get freaking mad at me. Okay, but the point is I wanted them to have the campaign voices, but all mixed up and distorted. Now, my favorite of these is Funtime Chica's voice, because it just sounds so freaking broken and distorted. Um, and I feel like it really worked with her. Lolbits is kind of fine. It's supposed to sound more kind of like a more distorted version of Funtime Foxy, and Circus Clown, he's not supposed to have his voices be intelligible, as he's the most damaged and he's on his way out, so he cannot really speak anymore. Um, yeah, here's what they all sound like. As for Scrap Baby, I didn't give her a voice because I just, I just couldn't find anything that fit with her, and I just I didn't think she needed to speak, really. And so that is the making of the Withered Animatronics. And this is why I think they're the best in design here, and I think they're the most, you know, the most cool looking, I guess you could say. So I'd like to take the credits of this video to kind of give credit to the people that actually made the original base models before I kind of turned them into monsters. So, Ennard was made by Taijin Nas. Funtime Chica was made by The Michael. Wallbit was by Sister Location VR, I believe. I can't actually find the original model source for it because I think, FNAF model makers always take down their stuff as soon as, there's always just drama with them, so I do believe it's Sister Location VR because I believe they were the ones that made the Ladies Night pack I used for that. Um, the frickin' JJ was made by my girlfriend, Green Sister Lover, and Showtime Baby was made by Chizu Productions. So yeah, I was really, I wanted to say thank you to the model makers for, having these models, letting me destroy them and turn them into monsters and have them in this fan game. So yeah. Thank you all for watching, by the way. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. I'll be making more FNAF content here, and it'd really help me if you guys who are coming from the recent blow-up of this game to, kind of follow my stuff, and I don't know, I just hope you guys are interested, because I don't want to, I've been working on this game for 3 years, and I just hope some of you guys stay and kind of enjoy the content that's here. So, yeah, thanks for watching.